So over here, okay, so in Suite Builder, you'll understand three things. One is about creation of custom fields, then custom forms, and third is custom records. Okay. Now, say for example, I'll take a purchase order or a sales order. Okay. Now you are able to see here the sales order form. Okay. There are several fields over here. Okay. You are able to see fields all over here. Okay. Just a moment. Okay, so you're able to see all the fields over here. Okay, and then there are fields in the at the bottom as well over here. Okay, so this is your like I mean this gray color section, there are fields one beside the other in this table as well. Okay, so now over here, okay, very firstly, how do you identify if a specific field is a custom field or a standard field? Do you guys know that? Okay, when you click on the field label, right? Okay, say now for example, okay, I click on this field label. Any field whose field ID starts with the prefix as cust is a custom field, and any field whose field ID does not have any such prefix as cust is a standard field. Okay, so this is how you differentiate between the custom field uh, and the standard field. Okay, just a moment. Okay, and then after that, okay, now the fields all over here, okay, except for the fields in this table, okay, all the other fields including these two, okay, these fields are called as body fields or header fields, whereas these fields, okay, in this gray color table are called as sublist fields or line level fields or column fields. Okay, now to create a now uh, now to create a field, you go to customization. Okay, list records and fields, and then okay, it starts from here: entity fields, item fields, CRM fields, transaction body fields, transaction line fields. Okay, transaction item options, other number fields, other record fields. So now, okay, these are categories. The procedure to create a field is just same, it just depends. Now say for entity fields, if you want to create field on any of the entity records, say customer, vendor, okay, lead, prospect, or partner, or any such kind of records, you go to entity fields. Item fields, if a field is created for any of the item records, that is say an inventory item or a service item or a kit or package item group, any kind of item record, you create a field. You want to create a field, you go to item fields. Okay, then CRM fields, if you want to create a field for a task, phone call, activity, a case, or a contact, okay, any such kind of records, you go over here. Transaction body fields, if you want to create fields for any of the record that lies under transaction, and you want to create that field out of this table. Okay, uh, okay, so over here, okay, and that out of this table you want to keep it anywhere over here. Okay, then that field is called transaction body field. Likewise, there is transaction line field. Any field that lies under any record that lies under transaction tab, and you want to have that field placed in this gray color table, then it is transaction line field. Okay, so any questions over here so far?
No, no questions.
Okay. Item options and item number you can ignore. Okay, these are not actual categories. And then other record field. So whatever records you have missed from entity to transaction, okay, and on those records you would want to create field, you will come over here. Say for example, you want to create a field on a chart of account record or a subsidiary record or a location record. Okay, these kind of records, you come over here to the other record fields and create it. Okay. So okay, so now let us go. Okay, the procedure to create is just same. So let us go with the most often used thing, that is transaction body fields. So I'll go here and click on new. Okay, so say GL email. Okay, my purpose is to store email over here in this field. You can give ID to the field. I'm creating the field, so my name I can okay, one can briefly describe about the field here. The type, what kind of field, you want it as a checkbox or a date type of field, or a currency, email address, free form text, a link, or an image kind of a field, long text, multi select, whatever you want you can select. So I want to keep it as email address type of field. Okay, then over here list or record for a life, for a while we'll keep it aside, we'll come back to this. Store value, you want the value whatever you enter in that field, you want it to be stored, you check this checkbox. Use encrypted format, that means whatever data you'll store in this field, that will be stored in an encrypted format back in the database. Show in list, now say for example you are creating this field on the sales order. Then when you go to the list of sales orders page, okay, until it opens, you want to inactivate the field, you can check the checkbox here. Record is parent, for a while let's keep it aside, we'll come back to it. Global search, you want this field to be searched from the global search bar, you can check this checkbox. Okay, so now show in list, when you check this checkbox, this field will be visible over here in the list, okay, as one of the column. Okay, so that is your, okay, show in list. So any questions so far until here?
No.
No.
Okay. Now, since we want to apply it on sales order record, we are selecting sale. At once, you can apply it to as many as you want. Okay. Then in the display here, you can mention, okay, if you want this field to be particularly inserted before any field over here on the sales order, you can select that field. Else, you can leave it. Okay. Subtab. Okay. Subtabs are nothing but these. On any record here, these are called subtabs. So would you want to, do you want to keep this field under subtab or up anywhere? So I want to keep up anywhere, so I have to select main from here. Otherwise you can select the subtab, but selecting a subtab is mandatory. If you don't select, your field will never be visible on the form. Okay. Display type, normal is just like any other normal field. Inline text looks like something like this. Okay, wait, okay, so see, order, this to be generated is an inline text. Okay, which is a non-editable text. Okay, this type of field you want to create, then you choose inline text. Okay, disabled is like this field. See, this is disabled, you can't do anything. Okay, and hidden, you want to hide it from the form, then it is hidden. Okay, you can mention the display width of the field over here. Help, whatever you mention in the help. Okay, so when you click on any field, right, okay, briefly, okay, you will find the description about that field. Likewise, if you want a brief description about your field, you will mention that in the help. Okay, validation and defaulting, over here you check this checkbox is mandatory. Okay, if you want your field to be mandatory, okay, asterisk like this will be shown beside your field label, and unless you don't enter the data into it, the record will not be allowed to see. Then check spelling, you can check this checkbox to check the spelling of I mean, if you want to alert pop-up saying that there is a spelling mistake or something, you want to set any default value into your field, you can set that. If you want to bring any save search field data, you can just select the save search, and which field data you want, you can select that. Okay, then sourcing and filtering, for a while let's keep it aside, we'll come back to this. Okay, then under access, you can decide to which role at what access level. Okay, view, edit. Okay, what access level would you want to, like, if you want to narrow it down, what is the permission you are giving. Likewise for department, and likewise for subsidiary. You don't select anything, it is open for, available for all. Okay, translation, you can have translations in other languages. So any questions so far until here?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
So now I check the checkbox of sale here. Okay, I see an option of save and apply to form. Sometimes you will see option of save. Never click on save directly if you don't, unless you don't see this option. However, you may see this option here. Okay, so the reason you have to do save and apply to forms instead of save is because, okay, Because now when I check the checkbox of sale, that doesn't mean it is only on sales order. It is everything that is related to the sales end. That is cash refund, credit memos, and all of it. So I don't want this field on all of those things. So I'm just unchecking them. Okay, so I'm just keeping on the sales order and removing from all other and saving it. So once saved, okay, you refresh the page if the page is already open. Here you see GL email. Okay, our field custom field is created. So the purpose of my field was to store customer's email ID. Okay, and then go on to the customer record. Okay, so I am copying that customer email and I'm storing it over here. Okay, and saving it. So this was the purpose of my field, okay, on the sales order. Okay, so this is how you create a custom field and this is how you use it. So any questions so far here? No questions?
No question.
Okay, so now if you notice, okay, what I had to do, okay, my purpose was to have customer's email, but for that I selected the customer, then I went, okay, I went to the customer record and brought the customer, and copied the customer email and pasted it over here, right? Okay, we'll try to now automate this process a little by adding some functionality to that field. Okay, going back to our field. Okay, so from back, okay, so this one additional history tab will get added. That is whoever is making any kind of changes to this field configuration, that all the changes will be recorded. The logs will be recorded. Translation, we covered everything. Access, we covered everything. Now sourcing and filtering, something we didn't cover. Okay. So now I told you about automating the process, right? So that is what we are going to do. In sourcing and filtering, source list is nothing but, okay, so see, when a customer is selected, the email address should come automatically in here. Okay, so the action is going to happen at the selection of customer. So in the source list, always that field should be present based on which action is going to happen. So action is going to happen based on customer, so selecting customer. So once the action is performed, what are you doing? You're trying to go to the customer record, select the email of the customer record and store it in your order record. So you want the data of the email of the customer record. So in the source from, mention email. Okay, and I'll save it. Now I'll open a new sales order record. Okay, now you see our custom body field is empty. I'll select some customer. This time I'll select some other customer. Okay, and if I scroll down, the email is all automatically present here. I didn't have to open the that specific customer record, copy the email, come back and paste it here. Okay, automatically it came up. This is called sourcing and filtering. So any questions, any doubts?
No.
Okay, so now I'll remove the sourcing and filtering. Validation and defaulting, we covered everything. Display, we covered everything. Applies to, we covered everything. Record is parent, we are going to cover during custom records. Now list or record is something that is uncovered. So to act, list or record is nothing but if you want to make a field as a drop down field, okay, then you use list or record. So here under type I'll select list or record. Okay, and now, okay, so now what drop down do you want that you mention here? I want the drop down of locations. Okay, so over here I'll select the location. Okay, here I'll give the GL location. Okay, and I'll do save and apply to forms. Okay, here it's still GL email, so I'll do reset labels. It will apply to all and I'll save it. So now our field type we have changed it. Okay, there you see it's a drop down kind of field. Name has changed and you have all the locations as the drop down. Okay, so this is what is your list or record, and this was all with respect to the custom fields. Okay, any questions?
These are by default fields, right?
Which one? The rest of them?
Yes.
In rest of them, the standard ones which do not
Standard.
have any prefix as cus, these are by default fields. Okay, the
Can
others there are.
we can we customize as per the company requirement in
Yeah,
this?
you are the standard fields. You cannot make any changes, but
Mm,
you can decide where what standard fields to be shown on this forms and what to be hidden. But you cannot make any changes to the standard fields.
standard fields, yes.
Yeah.
How can we hide the standard fields?
That is what the next concept is about custom forms. Okay, so you learned about field. Now you see this is all entire altogether a form. In this form you have fields, then there are sub tabs under which again there are fields and all of it. So over here you'll understand how do you design the form. Okay, so see here there are so many custom forms which are created. Okay, so for custom forms you go to customization forms. Okay, there are two type of form. Okay, there are two categories. Okay, transaction forms are for all forms for all those records that lie in a transaction tab. Apart from that, any other record you want to create a form, you go to entry forms. Okay, so here you go to transaction forms. Okay, now under the type, we need to search for sales order. Okay, so here now how do you identify if a particular form is a standard form or a custom form? If it's a standard form, right, against the form name, you will find option as customize. Okay, but if it's a custom form you'll find the option as edit there.
Edit.
Okay, So for standard form, you use the standard form and customize a form out of it to make a custom form. So which is why I selected, I clicked on customize here.
Custom form means it is full access or what?
You full access in the sense.
Can we make changes? Anything? Any
Yeah,
changes?
there are many changes you are allowed to make. That's what
Yeah.
we'll explore now.
And
Okay.
edit means this is limited access like that.
No, no. Edit is one of the, someone has already created a custom form out of a standard form. So out of a standard form, we are creating a custom form, but standard form will just remain like that. We cannot edit that or make any changes. Okay. So a custom form is like full access.
Uh,
Okay.
yes.
So okay. So now over here, will GL sales order form. Okay, you can give ID to your form. These are for print template. These are for technical people. That is like for sales order, there should be a PDF document how to generate and all. They'll configure it over here. You can describe about the form. A default address you want to set on the form, you can set that. Any logo you want to give for to the form, you can select it from the drop down here. Column width and layout space of your form, you can mention. Allow add multiple when you check this checkbox. Okay, here this add multiple button, okay, will be shown, which will help you add multiple items at once. Okay, then inactive, if you want to inactivate this form, you can check the checkbox of inactive here, then this cannot be used by anyone. Form is preferred. Now see, there are so many forms, sales order forms. Out of all of these forms, you want the user to land on to your form by default, then you check this checkbox of form is preferred. Okay, so any questions so far until here?
No.
Okay, then under tabs, okay, over here, okay, tabs are nothing but these ones. Okay, so now you can decide which tabs to be shown. I don't want to show all of these tabs. Okay, then I want to show this tab, but I would want to rename the tab. I'm renaming the tab. You can rename it from here. Okay, and then you can also change the position of the tab. Billing, I want to have it beside items, so you can drag and place it wherever you want. Okay, this is with respect to tabs. Then there is field groups. Okay, so now field groups is nothing but, see, primary information is one field group in which there are certain fields. Then sales information are other field group in which there are certain fields. Like a classification is a field group where there are certain fields. Okay, so likewise you want to create your own group. Okay, so let's create an own group over here. Okay, so this is how you create a field group. Okay, then there is screen fields. In screen fields are nothing but all the fields that are present over here on the form. So you can change the label of the field, you can decide which fields to be shown, you can decide which fields should be made mandatory, you can change the position of the fields, you can decide which field to be mentioned under which particular field group. Okay, all of that. So now over here, okay, uh, say for example, okay, let's have this field under the field group that we create. Okay, let's also place our custom field in the field group we created. Okay, so over here I placed a few fields under our field group. This is how you place the fields under your field group. Then over here, okay, column break is nothing but from which particular field would you like to start a new column. So from end date, a new column is started. No, instead of that, you would want it to start from the start date. So check the checkbox there. From there, the new column will be started. Likewise, space before you can mention, and same row as previous also you can mention. Okay. Any questions, any doubts over here?
Can we
Okay.
move this column from one place to another place?
Okay. Like one what I mean from
Start
one
date,
place.
start date. Just I want before that status. Can you move?
Ah, yeah, you can do that. Just take click over here and drag it up.
Ah,
Okay. So that's how it moves. Okay. And yeah, this was with respect to screen fields. Then actions are nothing but the actions that you find over here. So you can decide which actions to be shown, and you can rename the actions if you want. Okay. Sublists are nothing but these tables over here that you find, the gray color tables. So you can decide which sublist to be shown, and you want to name, you can name the sublist, rename. And you can over here you can change the label of the sublist fields, you can decide which ones to show, and you can also change the position of the sublists. Okay. Then there is a quick view. Okay, you can ignore this. This is custom code is a technical person's thing. You can ignore this as well. And under roles, you can decide to which roles would you want to narrow down this accessibility and visibility of this particular thing. If you do not want to narrow down, okay, you don't select anything. This is open and available for all. Okay. Then there is link form. That means from sales order, you go to the item fulfillment. Then again on item fulfillment, there are multiple forms, out of which is that particular form would you want to land on. You can select that from here, and eventually that form only will appear for you. Okay. So likewise for the rest of the sequence, you can mention that if you want, so not mandatory. Okay. So any questions, any doubts so far until here?
no.
Okay. So now let's save it.
Is there we are using any tools or only like that customize? We are using
No,
any tools for that?
there's no tool use. This is only the thing.
Mhm.
Okay. So now I'll refresh this page. See here, you have your form. You click on this form. So now we are in your form where from status we started a new column. Okay. And then we had your own field group called GL group in which we placed few fields. Okay. And then we removed the other sub tabs. We placed billing tab beside the items one, and we renamed this to GL custom. Okay. So any questions, any doubts over here? This was all with respect to custom forms. No questions?
No.
Okay. Now the last concept over here is the custom record. Okay. So now see whatever sales kind of information you wanted to store, you had a dedicated space called sales orders. Invoice related information, you had a dedicated record called space called invoice. purchase information, you have a dedicated space. So for most of the things, you have a dedicated space. But what happens sometimes is that in the business there is something for which there is no standard availability. So in that case, you create custom records. Say now, for example, you want to store all the shipment consignment details at one place. Okay, but how do you do that? There is no standard availability, the standard facility. Okay, so for that we create custom record. Okay, which looks something like exactly like this. So for that you go to customization, list records and fields, record types, new. Okay, here give the name. So this is where you can give a name to your record. Here you can provide ID to your record. I'm creating my name, and then you can describe about your record. If you want a name field, that is like whoever is creating their name also should appear on the record, you can do that. Else it's not needed. You can, okay. You want to show field IDs. Okay, you check this checkbox. Okay, let's have, then creation date, last modified, owner name, all of that you want on record and on list, you can check the checkboxes accordingly. Here you want to set up certain permissions, you can do that, or maybe you can mention no permissions required for internal roles. Okay, none and none. Then allow UI access, that is access to buttons and all, you can check the checkbox. Allow mobile access, so there is a mobile application as well of NetSuite. You want to access this custom record whatever you're creating using that mobile application, you can check this checkbox. Okay, allow attachments over here. If you want any attachments to be attached, okay, then you can check the checkbox. Show notes, mail merging, records or order, you can check the checkboxes accordingly. You want the deletion delete option, you can check these checkboxes. So on quick search, quick add are the portlets on your dashboard. You want to use this custom record there on those portlets, you can check the checkbox. System notes, you can check it if you want. Definitely you would want to have system notes, so check the checkbox. Include in global search means you can select search this record from the global search bar. Including search menu if you want. So we learned about save searches. Okay, so if you want the you want to apply the save search for this record as well, you can check the checkbox. Enable optimistic locking. If in case Javed, you and Soumya are working on the same record and both of you are making some change and saving the record simultaneously, okay, then an error will be thrown for both of you if the checkbox is checked saying that simultaneous changes will not be accepted. Okay, so this is for that. Enable inline editing is like for inline editing feature where like on the list, I'll show you. Wait, yeah, until it loads. Any name translations hierarchy or inactivate you want to do, you can check the checkboxes accordingly. Any questions until here?
This one allow attachment.
Enable
It's
inline
what
editing is nothing but here you find an edit option on the list of the records page for whichever record you are. See here for sales order, and you can edit once you enable that. Okay, you get option to edit things from here itself. Okay, so there are certain fields for which you get option to edit. Okay, certain fields you are not allowed. Okay, so based on that you can edit over here itself instead of, I mean, like trying to so see, I can edit it from here itself instead of trying to open the record and edit, click on edit button and make the change and then save it. Okay, so that is your inline editing. Okay, so any questions, any doubts so far until here? Yes, document attachments.
can we attach any document like sales invoice,
Yeah,
anything?
yeah, yeah. You can attach any document you want.
Okay.
Okay. I'll show you the option once this is created. Any other doubts?
No.
Okay. So now, then moving ahead, you want to give subtabs. Okay. Then yeah, let's give a tab called GL tab. Okay. And sublist, we'll keep it aside. We'll come back to it. Icon, you want to give any icon to your record, you can do that. Numbering, so there will be a numbering series, right? So how for sales order, okay, it is document number series is there. Likewise, you can give numbering series for this as well. Like you can click on enable prefix, I'll give something as GL, suffix ending with the year 2025, Okay, minimum digit say 5. Okay, initial number you want to give, you can give it. Allow overriding and updating, you can check the checkboxes. Okay, and then permissions, if you want to give any kind of permissions to this. Okay, that is only to specific roles and all, you can select. You don't select, it is open for all. Likewise to any specific centers, likewise to any specific employees you want to give, you can. And translation is just like translation in any other language. And now I'll save it. So this was a record template creation page. Now, okay, GL ship. So see, GL shipment record. If I click on this name, again I'll go back to the template creation page. Okay, but no, I have created this template. Now I want to view. So you click on the new record here. Okay, so see, this is how your custom record is created. Now there are no fields. Let's go ahead to add the fields. Say for example, I'll create one record. Okay, so Javed, you asked about attachments, right? Under files section here you can add the attachments from your local system. Okay,
Right.
and I'll save it. So we had given numbering series. That numbering series is also applied to it. GL ending with 2025. This is the first record, so 1. Okay, now let's go ahead to add certain fields in this. So under fields, we wanted a shipment detail record, right? So I'll add shipment number, source port, shipment date, destination port. Okay, likewise I added few fields. Okay, rest all tabs we visited most of them. Now I'll save it, and then when I refresh this record, those fields should be visible here. There you see the fields here. This is the shipment number, source port say Dubai. Okay, shipment date say today's date, destination port London. Okay, you can mention it like this and save it. So now all the shipment information you're storing at one single place. That is the purpose of custom record. If you want to store all the related information at one single place, but you do not have a standard facility, then you create a custom records to do that. Okay. So any questions, any doubts?
No.
So yeah, this was all with respect to the customization, where we discussed custom fields, custom forms, and custom records.
This is the last topic.
Yeah, this is the last topic. So with this, we conclude our training.
Data migration is not included in this.
Data migration, I mean, that through CSV import I have done. Now you want data migration, say from one another system, you want to establish a connection to NetSuite and you want to do the data transfer directly from that system to NetSuite, then that comes under technical training under the
Oh,
concept of integrations.
integration.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're keen on technical training, we can like work on that too. You can also, I mean, directly without entering manually, you want the subsidiaries to be present here, right?
Yes.
You can do CSV import, that data migration I've shown you, right? How to add a vendor. Same concept you can use for adding subsidiaries as well. You can try that once. If you have face any issues and all, you can let me know. We can connect maybe once, and we can like work on it.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, from tomorrow, there will be no class.
Yeah, there'll be no class, but if in case, say, for example, you can like take some time, practice, go through all the sessions, practice and all. Whenever you have any doubt and all, maybe we can like arrange one a session wherein we can connect for some time, and we can clear the doubts if anything.
Yeah, sure. So how many days left for the access?
Access is until the 15th of this month.
Oh,
Af- After
okay.
that, it is chargeable. Or
Yeah, after that it's chargeable.
how much is that?
That I guess the front end team will let you know.